You look lost.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure Who are you?
I'm Cash. I'm you. Rather, I'm who you'll become if your life goes how it's meant to go.
Okay, I don't get it.
Well, that's why I'm here. What you are is simple. It's what you'll become that takes a team of very smart people closely documenting your progress, which will guide you to be what you've been created for. As to what you are, you're a billable hour. You were created in a room just like this, with people just like these, PwC professionals. Teams will routinely come together to brainstorm if there are any other service opportunities to bring value to a client. There are even times when the client themselves approach the professionals with an idea. It's then up to the team to take the idea and run with it. Whatever the case may be, you, the billable hour, have a very humble beginning as an idea.
How do we get from an idea to the need for a billable hour like me?
Well, most of the time you come from a collection of ideas that are reworked and refined together to create a larger team idea. Once the idea has been approved by the PwC professionals and their client alike, it's time to get into the work of making this idea a reality. And that takes time. And time means hours. And that is the beginning of the billable hour.
Wow, so this is where I came from?
It is. Always remember that time is money, and all time must be correctly logged and accounted for in order for you to be correctly valued. In order for that to happen, PwC has created a number of tools to help log and track exactly what piece of the project you would represent, and exactly what your value will be. The first tool they'll use during the idea or planning phase is the Tax Pricing Tool, or TPT for short. It is used to establish the project's cost, estimated hours, and fees billed to the client. It also will provide the initial planned rate, or IPR for short, which is key in the valuation of all the hours that will ultimately be incurred. It will also be required when requesting and setting up something called a WBS code, which we'll explore more later. Now that the engagement has been accepted and assigned to the PwC professionals, now called the engagement team, it's time to make the idea a reality. There's a 4-step process every PwC professional should know and apply to the life of a billable hour. They are: record it, value it, bill it, collect it. The it, of course, refers to you. It's what happens during those steps that will successfully transition you into me. We start with record it. You can see a lot is happening. It all centers around this large machine the team calls Mobile T&E. Think of this room as a mail sorting room. The addresses are examined, and every piece of mail goes where it's meant to go based on that information.
But there is so much going on. How will I know where I'm supposed to go in order to be properly valued?
Mobile T&E takes care of that by connecting with the WBS code associated with the hour. The WBS code has details about the project, like type of service, how much revenue to accrue, and market adjustments. It all comes from the information put into the TPT about the characteristics of the hour and is applied to the WBS code. That's why we want the team to log their time daily, and if needed, it can be done in as little as 6-minute increments. Any inaccurate information, and the process falls apart.
Whoa, I don't want to get lost.
Oh, I'm sure you won't.
Oh no, it doesn't look like that hour's going to make it.
Sadly, it didn't. What happens next is it gets pushed to general and administrative and becomes unchargeable and won't make the invoice. Record the hours accurately, completely, and timely, and everything runs a whole lot smoother.
Wow, look at this place. Now where are we?
This room is for the next step. Value it. This is where they break the hour down into specific parts to make sure that it's been valued correctly. When the budget of the project was built, the WBS code was created based on attributes that will vary based upon the market location, the complexity, and type of work being performed. Here, the system will break down what happened in this hour and value it based on the WBS code. This value is then reported on the WHIP report, which stands for Work in Progress. The team will always be following along with which hours have been used and if they were valued correctly by using another PwC tool called Flex Forecast. Think of this tool as the catch-all for any logged information during the process of the billable hour.
So they're always watching?
They're always watching. They'll also review the hours and consider any additional billing for work not initially budgeted in the engagement letter by looking at the hours in the additional time not otherwise addressed category of the detailed time capture.
It's a good thing they're there, making sure we're all valued accurately.
Which brings us to the next step, bill it. This is the part that you've been created for, hour. Now that each hour is accurate and has been valued correctly, they need to turn them into an actionable request for the client to follow up on. So an invoice is created from the billable hours that have been logged and approved. The team then takes that invoice and sends it off to the client for them to fulfill and send payment back to PwC.
Now the billable hour is cash like you?
Well, not just yet. There is still one more very important step. Collect it. The work has been done, the time has been logged and valued, the invoice created and sent out. Now all that's left is to collect payment. Set by the engagement letter at the beginning of the project, the client has a certain number of days to fulfill the invoice and return payment to PwC. It's important for the team to always check the accounts receivable aging report to make sure payments are coming back according to the agreement. All cash, like me, leaves PwC throughout the life cycle of the project in various ways, such as payroll, office space, and technology. But I only enter PwC when clients pay these invoices. Once payment has been received at PwC, the life of the billable hour has ended, and the hour is now cash. So, do you have any questions?
I don't think so. I think I know what I'm supposed to do now.
All right. Well, just in case, let's go over it again. Every billable hour begins with a what?
An idea.
Good job. Next, the team creates the project in the TPT where the different parts of the project are organized. Once the TPT is complete and the work is won, the team receives the WBS codes, which stays with the hours throughout their life in order for them to be valued correctly. Now that the hours have been created, how do the professionals record them?
By using mobile T&E?
You're exactly right. Mobile T&E doesn't value the hours. It simply lets the professional record the hours they worked and sorts them based on their WBS code.
And then they cross-reference the value of the hour after it's been recorded using Flex Forecast to monitor the hours of the project against the original budget in the TPT?
They sure do.
From there, it's generating the invoice and getting that out to the client in order for them to pay, which turns the hour into cash.
That's great work, Hour. I know with the help of the PwC professionals, you'll become cash in no time. This is just the tip of the iceberg, covering just this one process that is so important to what PwC does and how information gets logged and tracked. To learn more, browse the U.S. Finance L&D Spark site, in addition to the Tax Project Management Spark site for additional information and resources about the tax pricing tool, mobile T&E, Flex Forecast, and WHIP analysis.